What is our life but a reflection of who we are? I think that a lot of us don't I think a lot of us don't realize the impact our identities have on our external world in the sense of how our perspectives and mindsets actually contribute to, our own betterment and the betterment of a maybe a greater society. I think that many times we fail to realize the external nature of the internal world. In saying that, I mean that there's a lot of things going on within our head, within who we are, that prove to serve the external world and prove to impact it in ways that we may not realize. That is to say that, like 99% of who we are is within and not without. It's the expression of the internal that makes it an external impression, you know? So we should, focus on bettering our internal world to better our external. And that's not saying that, regular improvement of self. I mean, we all should strive to be better each and every day. But in this way, I'm talking about not just being better, but making sure your mindset aligns with the reality that you want to have. I feel like a lot of us downplay the the um, the power that our perspective has on the world. Like saying, you know, it's those who squint their eyes and search that have obscure vision. You know, and a lot of us search for negative things, or like, well, a lot of us search for negative. Let's just say that a lot of us are caught up within a lot of the negative realities that plague our world, and it's not to say that they aren't there. It's to say that everything exists in conjunction with itself. It's everything at once, and that's why it's kind of a beautiful thing. But in squinting your eyes in search, you know, you're focused on one thing. You're kind of in a tunnel, and you're only focused on that one negative thing. But everything around it is being lost in the process. So that is to say, to expand your perspective, to have room for everything all at once, to have a dichotomy between yourself and your environment, but also realize that those two are the same. Realize that how we're thinking and how we are is impacted by our internal working, is impacted by who we think we are. So in saying like the external nature of the internal world, I mean how the self impacts the self more. How sometimes our self causes or puts us in predicaments that compounds upon itself, puts us in predicaments that make us the way we are rather than how we want or ought to be. It's as if we are being softened by a light circumstance once again, because our perspectives aren't necessarily aligning with what they should be. They're not aligning with the parts of ourselves that we want to actually improve. They're just staying consistent with the negative aspects of selves that we're trying to relinquish and leave behind. And that's why we're finding ourselves in these situations where we're being brought right back to where we were initially, and I don't know, somewhat losing our drive and motivation to become better people day to day. So any implication of this type of information would be to give some time to figure out who you are, but not just in like the regular, oh, I'm this, I like that, but you know, redefining how you want to look at the world, not just basing it off of how you do. I feel like a lot of things in life are born with intention. And if we intend to look at the world in a positive manner, then I feel like it'll tend to do so. I mean, of course, there are still crazy things that can occur, like either morally, ethically, whatnot. But things outside of that, things within our control, things that, truly are a matter of perspective, When we have the option to look at the good, doing that. When we have the option to not take something personal, to protect our own peace, doing stuff like that. The point is to no longer allow the external world to impact your internal by realizing the external implication of the internal world.